Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are looking at the Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between the Golden State Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. This could potentially be the last game of the series. It could be a quick one. If the Mavs don't shoot better from three, it will be a quick one. But let's go ahead and break it down. We'll go through Draftkings, go through Prizepicks. Today, Prizepicks board looks appealing. As long as one of these teams doesn't lose by 40, I feel pretty good about the ones that I will be having on Prizepicks today. And then we'll touch on Fanduel. As always, if you enjoy the picks, appreciate it. Hit the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. If we can get to 70 likes, that would be appreciated. Check out all the other socials I have to offer down below. I post stuff on Twitter throughout the day if you're into betting and stuff like that. And let's go ahead and get into it. So today at the captain spot, at first glance, you'd probably look at Doncic and Curry. There's other plays now that you can look to captain-wise. Just with the salary on the two superstars from each team, and the value, this is the game that doesn't have much value. Yesterday's game between the Heat and the Celtics, that slate did have value going into it and did have value once we got the Marcus Smart news and once we got the Tyler Hero news. But this game just doesn't have much value. You could get some if Otto Porter Jr. gets ruled out. Steve Kerr said he's doubtful. I think was listed as questionable, but I don't expect him to play. But really, they just kind of tightened up the rotation a little bit more. You got some more minutes for Moody, who played 16, so he'd be the one value piece that you have here at $1,000. But otherwise, I have no confidence in Dwight Powell playing 8 minutes a game. I have no confidence in Bertans at $2,600. He's shooting poorly. And then you have Maxey, who can't buy a three, and he was scared to shoot threes in the second half once his shot wasn't falling. You have Bullock fresh off of an 0 of 10 in 40 minutes at 58. So if you put in a guy like Luka at captain, you're going to be looking to go with some mid-range plays. So we can definitely try to build it, but I think today I might go a little bit cheaper at captain just so I can get with some of the mid-range plays that don't have to deal with the crappy value that we have. But if you put in Luka Doncic here at 56, you're left with 56.80. Another guy that looks appealing is definitely Andrew Wiggins, the way that he's been playing the entire playoffs for the Warriors. He's really settled into his role. He's outperforming Draymond Green, Klay Thompson in fantasy-wise on a nightly basis, outperforming Jordan Poole. Not that much more expensive. He's cheaper than Klay Thompson. He's basically the same price tag as Draymond and same price tag as Poole, $600. Not much of a difference on a showdown slate. So I'm definitely looking to get to Andrew Wiggins today. And then you have Looney at 7K, who also continues to produce. Almost had another double-double last game. If you did bet that double-double, it was pretty unfortunate that he didn't get that. He had 9 points in the third quarter and then didn't have another basket. Also missed a free throw, which didn't help. But I like the way that he's been playing. If you happen to get a double-double, that'll be a couple extra fantasy points for him. And now you have about, you only have like 4,000, a little bit over $4,300 left. So unfortunately, you're probably going to be looking at like Maxey here at 42. Now you're left with 45. If you plug in Moody here at $1,000, he'd be a decent value just because he's going to play some minutes. If there is no Otto Porter, he played 16. And they haven't played Damian Lee last couple of games, so looks like Moody has jumped in front, but that could change on a game-to-game basis with the way that Moody didn't play that well. 0 of 3, missed 1 of 2 free throws. Now we have $8,000 where you can put in Draymond or Jordan Poole. And you have two Mavs for Golden State Warriors, but you do have the guy on the Mavs who could account for half of his team's points like he almost did last game. And Luka Doncic put up 40. The rest of the team shot poorly besides Dinwiddie. So this is one potential play if you're putting in Luka at captain. Looking at a different one here. If we get another 40-point fantasy outing out of Looney at 10.5, or even Wiggins looks appealing at 12.3, but I'm messing around with it. I think Looney might be a potential play at captain today. I don't think he'll be super popular, but he's getting the minutes. I played about 30 minutes last game. Could have played a little bit more. We saw him got up to 32 in the previous game. And he's a guy that does give you rebounding. Got 12 rebounds back-to-back games. Can give you some assist as well. Gives you a couple of defensive stats here and there. If he runs into a block, runs into a steal. And he's getting easy looks right at the basket. So if you're putting him at captain, if you're hopeful that he can get you, a monster game like 40, that really opens it up because now you're not only going to be able to get to one of Luka or Steph, but you're able to get to both of these guys, as well as maybe consider putting in Andrew Wiggins here at $8,200, and now you're going to be looking at a value piece in like Moody, and now you're plugging in Maxi Kleber at 42 and hope that he can hit some threes. So this is another potential play. I do like this one a little bit just because you're getting both superstars in Doncic and Curry, not just one in Doncic. And Wiggins, I want to get to him with the way that he's been playing. Maxi's cheap on the Mavs, and he does play the minutes because they don't like Dwight Powell's not playing much in this series, and they don't want to give a lot of minutes to Bertans because he's a liability on defense. So hopefully, like Kleber, even though he didn't play that well, he got 24 minutes, but 25-ish. Definitely can play more, and if he is somewhat hitting his shots, he's going to get those minutes because he does give more defensively than Bertans. Bertans fouled when he was in the restricted area, didn't jump, so it led to a foul, whereas Maxi Kleber is really going to contest those shots. So I have a little bit more confidence in Maxi at 42 than Bullock at 58, and like Finney Smith at 66, saving some more money. I don't mind getting to Dinwiddie, so if you wanted to do that, instead of playing like maybe Wiggins, you can put in Dinwiddie here, and you have 2,000 left, so you could be looking at upgrading to maybe Bullock instead of Maxi Kleber, but I'm pretty fine with this one. Let's do one where we put in Wiggins at captain, or we can do Steph at captain too, but I'll do Wiggins at captain once. Then I'll definitely still be looking to get to Luka with his 70-point upside. We have about 58.25 left. I'm looking to get to Dinwiddie, maybe get to Looney here at 7K as well. Now we have 47.50. If we plug in $1,000 for Moody, we're left with 85, so we're able to get to Draymond and leave $500 on the table. This is another definitely potential play that you can look to today. If Otto Porter doesn't play today, then a couple more minutes for Draymond. He was in a little bit of foul trouble last game, like he typically has been this series. It hasn't been his best series fantasy-wise, but this one, I can definitely get behind this sort of entry. In terms of the core plays for me, definitely looking at Luka, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to him in the captain spot just because I don't want to deal with a lot of the poor value that we have in the captain spot. I would like to get to Curry, but he also doesn't make it easy if I want to get to both Curry and Luka. It's tough to do that in the same lineup. So I'm looking at either Looney or Wiggins. Looney does give you a little bit more flexibility, so you can do something like that. I want to get to Curry as well. And then the value pick will probably be Moody just because he's $1,000. Don't expect Otto Porter to play. It'll allow me to free up some money, and now I have 62.50 where I can put in like Dinwiddie here and maybe put in, well, you're going to be just missed out on Reggie Bullock. So this one, not able to get to Dinwiddie. Maybe get to Finney Smith and get to Bullock or something like that. If you're looking to get to the more Mavs or do a balanced approach. Because, Finney Smith and Bullock are going to play those 40 minutes no matter what. So that's what I got for Draftkings. Let's go on and touch on Prizepicks. All right, so on Prizepicks, I got the picks on the screen already. There's 4, and I feel pretty solid about all of them. The first one that I have here is Kevin Looney over 20.5 points, rebounds, assist. He's been playing those minutes. He's playing about 30 minutes a game in this series. Got 28, 28, 32. So average them, it's about 29 minutes a game. He's hit that 25, 35. Just missed 19 in the previous game, in game number 1. But he's not only getting you rebounds, he's getting you some assists. He's gotten 4 and 2 assists last couple of games. And he's getting easy looks at the basket, getting to the free throw line a couple times a game as well. His fantasy score is also in play at about 26, I believe. But he hasn't gotten a ton of defensive stats here. He's also a guy that doesn't really turn the ball over, so you're not going to really risk losing fantasy points as a center. But I don't mind either his fantasy points or his points, rebounds, assists. I like his PRA a little bit more. That's what we went with last game, and it worked out, so I'll stick with that. Another one is Steph Curry. I like his fantasy as well at 42, but you could lose some fantasy points from Curry if he does turn the ball over, and you're basically kind of the same deal. I don't believe you get those extra bonuses because you deal with Fanduel scoring. So you don't get those extra bonuses like you do on Draftkings for 3 points made. So that could lead to, it's basically not getting any bonuses. So that could hurt his fantasy if he makes a lot of threes. It helps his Draftkings fantasy, but Prizepicks doesn't make a difference. And then if he does turn the ball over a little bit, you're losing a full point there. So I don't mind taking his PRA instead at 38.5. It is similar, but he's been playing really well this series, hitting a lot of threes, playing big minutes. And in a closeout game, do expect Steph Curry to play 40 minutes or so, if not a little bit more. Wiggins looks great on his PRA is 24.5, but he's also a guy this series that is locked into Luka Doncic, so he's getting you some defensive stats like steals, a couple blocks here and there. 30 seems very low for a guy that's averaging he's gotten over 40 twice and he got over 33 twice, so average them all up. He's probably close to do the math really quick, close to 37 fantasy points in this series. That 41.2 was in Memphis, my bad, but he's really been doing great. That game that he only had 8 fantasy points was when they were losing by 50 in the third, so definitely chalk that up. But Wiggins having a great postseason. not only scoring, but getting you rebounds. He had 11 rebounds last game, getting you some defensive stats and a couple assists here and there. And then Luka Doncic over 58 fantasy. That's one that I do like. His PRA is also viable, but he's a guy that, unlike Steph Curry, is in a little bit better job of getting you defensive stats, and those are worth 3 points on Prizepicks, like blocks and steals. So he should be out there for like 42, 43 minutes today at home, must-win game. That's another prop that I really like. So the 4 that I'm going with today are Looney over 20.5 PRA, Steph Curry 38.5 PRA, Wiggins 30 fantasy, and Luka Doncic over 58 fantasy. Plug them all in. It can get you a 10x if you put it in the power, or if you're being a little bit safer, you can put it in the flex. But that's what I got for Prizepicks. Let's go ahead and touch on Fanduel. All right, on Fanduel, you're not paying extra. Well, they did price up Luka to over 16.5, but the captain, the star, MVP, they're all the same in terms of salary. So I'm still going to be looking to get Luka Doncic here in the MVP spot. If I put in Steph Curry in the star spot, we're left with about 93.33. I do like Wiggins a lot at 13. Looney is in play as well at 12.5, but I feel like Wiggins gets those a couple extra minutes. Now we have just 75, so we're going to be really looking for value down here. I'm fine with not, Fanduel I think has it right with having Clay a lot cheaper than Wiggins and Looney, at least for this series. He hasn't done great for fantasy. He's gotten you some rebounds, gotten you some baskets, but really Wiggins and Steph and Looney at least have been the best for fantasy. We've seen some big hits for Draymond. He's kind of not really, he's still getting you some stats in all categories, but the fantasy has not been there much in this series. So, now at this price tag, I actually don't mind getting to like Moody all the way at the bottom. If you don't want to put in Dwight Powell and have his 8 minutes, Moody's a guy that, especially if there is no Otto Porter, could get like 16 or at least 15 minutes or so, like he did last game where he played 16. And he's all the way down at 6K. So now we have 9,000 left that we can look to fill out with Dorian Finney-Smith instead of going with Kleber, which is fine. If you did want to put in Kleber, then you can upgrade from Moody to about, you're basically picking guys that will play less minutes than Moody, so I'm not that interested in doing that. But this is what I'll probably end up with. If I did want to put in, if I did want to go back to Bullock, which I really don't, but I'm sure he'll hit some threes today after going 0 of 10 last game, then I can get to Looney instead of Wiggins at 12.5. But that's, in terms of Fanduel, this is probably what I'll start with. Luka, Steph, and Wiggins. Hopefully, we get a longer series, but I'm not really confident in that after what the Mavs role players. I mean, Mavs don't have much role players besides Dinwiddie. They really miss Tim Hardaway. He's a guy that would be able to keep the threes coming and actually have a better chance of hitting those threes instead of having Reggie Bullock take a lot of them and Kleber take a lot of them. But that's what I got. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.